The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog took up new customers, play just $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We're back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast, Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Now, me know the voice of the guy. It's me, really, Terrell, Furman Jr. here at your service. I mean, so much to cover. Vegas has already picked up, and I mean, in just amazing fashion, the New York Knicks. They exercise their demons. They are on the way to the NBA Cup final. And at this point, I don't know what's embarrassing or what's more embarrassing. Not winning a championship or winning an NBA Cup final and then not winning a championship. I don't know. If they hang the banner up in MSG, I don't know. Don't know how I'm going to feel about it. Nonetheless, I will say, and I'll give the NBA Cup this, it gave us one of the best games of the year. One of the best games of the year. Ended with a great finish. Oklahoma City finally takes their second loss. Victor Wembanyama gets talked about coming off of the bench. And Stephon Castle looks like he just signed his Supermax contract. Oh, and then yesterday, the Lakers and Suns had some Real Housewives of LA drama-filled game over the course of the entire game that ended in the final seconds. A lot went on this weekend. Scott, studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, the NBA Cup games were fun. High-scoring Knicks game, which I was not exactly expecting, and then you saw a rock fight in the OKC game, which I did expect. I thought it was going to be a war, and it was. I gave the Spurs, I'd say, more of a chance than other people did, but I did not think they'd win the game. So nice job by the Spurs to find a way to survive. Game came down to the wire. You could argue a couple of missed calls against OKC at the end. I'm not going to argue anything. I think at the end of the day, it was a solid overall game, and the Spurs found a way to survive. So nice job by them. Wemby was great. I thought Castle was solid too. Felt like the Spurs were really capable of just showcasing their mental toughness. It felt like the Thunder jumped them early, thought maybe the Spurs might roll over in experience. Thunder had been destroying everybody. Thought maybe, the Spurs might let the game get away from them, and they did not. A nice job by the Spurs to battle back. Nice run there at the end of the first half, and they were able to eventually find a way to win the game outright. So very fun game there. I mean, Knicks' game was fun too. Unfortunate Suggs got hurt because Suggs was having a great game, and he got injured there in the second half. But either way, have a pretty fun final between the Knicks and the Spurs. That's going to be next episode because that game's on Tuesday. But overall, pretty fun collection of games there. As for the games yesterday, of course, most people were locked into the NFL. The Cavs lost to the Hornets at home. Cavs are garbage, man. That team's bad. Atlanta, nice win. Jalen Johnson, another triple-double. My Nets might not be as bad as we thought. They won by 45 yesterday against Milwaukee. I know Milwaukee stinks, but 45 is 45. And, of course, you had the Curry wasted masterclass. He had 48. They lost anyway. And you had the LeBron-Dillon Brooks beef that resulted in a tech followed by a Dillon – followed by
they both got teched up for each other. They both got teched up for each other in the game, but
well, they did, except
Dylan Brooks at the end of the game.
Yeah, he got ejected in the last minute or so, and then Booker fouled LeBron on that 3-pointer, and the Lakers won. So that was the two, I'd say, mainly talked about games. But once again, Cavaliers really not that good. That's another thing I want to mention. But nice win for the Lakers. Yes, I know it's controversial, but a win's a win. Dylan Brooks squared up in the final 10 seconds like an idiot. He was trying to punk LeBron. Yes, you could argue it should have been a shooting foul on LeBron, but you can't you can't square up against the guy in the final 10 seconds of a 1-point game. That's just insanely dumb. And nice job by Portland.
LeBron. Anything else you want to bow down to him, and I don't bow down. So
yeah, pretty much.
I score up with him in the last second of the game when we were up 1. Who cares?
Yeah, was it a shooting foul on LeBron? Probably. Does Dylan Brooks have the right to turn to him and square up? No, of course not.
Yes, I do. I do have that right.
It was a clear
I'm a
tech.
bear.
In hindsight, it didn't matter because LeBron bricked the tech anyway. So it actually had no impact on the game at all besides Brooks getting ejected. But you can't square up and get yourself ejected in the last 10 seconds of a
Why not? Game. Why not? Why can't I? Why can't I? I'm that guy.
Anything is possible.
I'm averaging 20 this year. I can do whatever I want. I'm the star. Yeah. I'm the star now.
For the record,
I'm the captain of this ship now.
I mean, Brooks
did hit a big three. He hit a big three. It was a big three.
And the Lakers also blew a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Crazy big shot. That's what it was like. Yo, it was an insanely huge shot, and he hit it and immediately got tacked up.
Yeah, there were some questions about the Booker foul on LeBron. Booker meant to foul, which you could debate on your own right, and you could argue that he didn't touch him. He hit his hand. I mean, people argue hands a part of the ball. On a replay, once I think whatever the call was on the field or on the court was going to stand.
Yeah.
If they didn't call anything, it wouldn't have been anything. They called it a shooting foul. It was going to stand. Like Booker made contact. You'd argue that hand's part of the ball. Once it was called a foul on the court, you were not going to overturn that. That was my stance on it. You?
Yeah, same thing. Like in real time, whatever you thought it was in real time, that's probably what it was. And like, if you slow anything down, you're gonna go, oh, okay. But like whatever it was in real time, it probably what it was in real time.
And Freeze asking if it was a foul on LeBron against Dylan Brooks. I thought it was a shooting foul. I thought Brooks flopped to the floor. It doesn't change the fact that it was a shooting foul, but they didn't call it. So you can't add a foul after the fact. And Brooks got pissed. They didn't call a foul. He went after LeBron. And you just can't do that. You just can't do that in a 1-point game in the final 10 seconds. Yeah. So, yeah, once again, it was a crazy game. The Lakers got away with it, but it was a circus in the final 10 seconds. I thought LeBron fouled him, but whatever. It turned against the guy and threatened to fight him.
Shout out for Dylan Brooks for making this rivalry way more interesting than anybody thought it was going to be. I'm actually interested to see Devin Booker play LeBron James now. Not Devin Booker, but Dylan Brooks play LeBron James now. Like, I'm curious on what happens in the game because that through all the theatrics, it was entertaining. It was very, very entertaining.
Oh, it was a great game. I mean, the game was close and they fell behind 20 and the Lakers fell apart. So it was actually a very good game, but the Lakers found a way to survive.
If only this and you know what? You need stuff like this to give you like additional things to look forward to, because we know neither one of these teams will win the championship. Like that's not happening.
Well, you had Ayton beef with Mark Williams.
Yeah, you need these things.
Like, yeah, it was a beef.
We need these. We need different storylines around the league. This is how you make the regular season more interesting. This is how you make the regular season more interesting. Cause more beefs.
There's more bad blood across the league.
Yes. Very much so. Everybody should start shit talking each other. What else we got to talk about? Yeah. By the way, speaking of shit talk, let's shit talk the rest of the people on our podcast network here. Hey, college experience, those guys, they just, go over 50% every single year in all of their college picks. You want to go check them out. Make sure you go check out the Sports Gambling Podcast and those guys breaking down the NFL. They just did their Monday Night Football props last night. Go check that out. Hockey Gambling Podcast, Propcast, all of that. Matter of fact, we got so many shows on the network. You just want to go check them out in the SGPN app. Go get all of our picks and podcasts in one convenient place, the SGPN app. Download the app right now for free in your app store. Just type in SGPN. All right, let's get into it and figure this out.
We got 5 games.
Who do we want to start off with here first? Oh, wait, that's the NFL. Tua in the cold? No way.
I just did a show on Tua about half an hour ago. So
Jesus Christ.
I got that covered
in
already.
the cold? Make sure you go check out that. All right. Boston Celtics, 7 p.m. on the East Coast. Tipping off in TD Garden, that filthy, disgusting wannabe garden, against the Detroit Pistons. 20-5 on the season, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as good as the Pistons are, OKC's overshadowing just having their second loss, but 20-5 in their first 25 games is amazing for the Pistons.
They also buried Atlanta in their last game. They won by what, like 35?
Yes, very much so. They're on the road, catching two points against Boston. 229.5 is the total injury report for these two teams. And we have for the Detroit Pistons, guess what, Scott? Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing to report for Detroit. Honestly, nothing to report for Boston either.
Well, nothing to report for the most part. Malik Beasley's still out of the league, but that's basically it.
And for Boston, nothing to report for the most part. Jason Tatum is still, recovering from torn Achilles, of course. All right. So
they had a crazy game the last time around, which came down to a Cade missed free throw at the end. Great game overall. I believe that was an NBA Cup game. Boston's good. Pistons might be really good. Do you think the line's right? Do you think Boston should be favored by 1.5?
I mean, I don't think so, because I think this is just a little. Everybody else is more bought into the Boston. They went on a very hot streak. They won a bunch of games in a row, and starting to figure things out and clawed themselves 5 games above 500. I think everybody has Boston a little bit power rated higher than I do. I think Detroit is legit one of the best basketball teams in the league. Like, this team doesn't quit. They don't stop. They have a great head coach. And this is literally what Bickerstaff does. He wins regular season basketball games. Now, we can get to the playoffs and we'll have a conversation about what my Detroit stock is in the playoffs when we get there. But at the very least, he wins these regular season games. And this is a really big game for them to go ahead and emphasize, hey, we are one of the top teams in the East. I'm curious on what the Boston offense is going to look like going up against the Detroit defense, because Detroit defense has been very, very stout. I don't know if the threes are going to be there over the course of the entire game. Ironically, both of these two teams have recently lost to the Bucks, but the Pistons were able to get their face back in that game. 8-3 on the road this season, 4-1 as a dog. Like, for me, Boston have to have an unreal shooting day to be able to keep up at this point. I think that the size is going to be an issue with Duran in the middle and Beef Stew in the middle. As you know, start your centers against the Celtics. That's going to be something. I'm not a believer in the Celtics, so I'm going to continue to roll with this insanely hot Detroit Pistons team. But especially as a dog, I mean, the 4-1 as a dog and being able to go out there and get those wins, I'm locked in on the Pistons being able to contain them at the 3-point line and then just do what they do and eventually go up maybe 10, 12 points in this one.
Yeah, so I see the game being very close, but I think I'm going to agree with you. I think I am going to go with Detroit. The last meeting was very close. Jaylen Brown had a 30-plus point double-double. Cade had 42. He had a monster game. I think it comes down to the wire, but I think Detroit does just enough to get the job done for me. It might just be based on the actual price. In what I think is basically a pick'em game, I don't see much separating these teams, especially in Boston. Mm-hmm. If you want to give me plus money on a coin flip, I'll pick tails and call it a day. Like, I think there's value on Detroit. I think if you want to argue that Detroit was favored in this game, then maybe I'd consider taking Boston. But Boston laying 1.5, I can get plus money on a Detroit team that, as we said before, is one of the best teams in the East. You could argue maybe trap line here or there, but I see it being a very close game. I see plus money on one side. I think that's good enough for me. I'll go for Detroit money line, but I see a very close game. You might be able to find a good way of getting plus money on both sides mid-game. You might be able to get an opportunity for that. But I don't mind Detroit plus money as my option, or what I think should be a very close game. So
Well, and we're gonna see. We'll see if the Celtics can stay disciplined too. Detroit is really, really good at getting to the line in the last 5 games, and that's going to be a really tough part of it. Jordan Walsh is tough. He was just out there. First of all, that's another reason. This team's unserious. Jordan Walsh was just up there playing one-on-one with Ray.
Walsh is a great defensive player, though. Offensively, work in progress.
Oh, Ray didn't score a point. Ray didn't score a point.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. Ray did not score a point, but he and Jaylen Brown are very much in the streaming realm right now, and they're focused on streaming. They're not focused on basketball.
I think the problem I have, though, with Boston, even with the last game they won against Detroit, and Brown, I thought, played well as he had 33 and 10. He was still 12 of 32 from the floor. Like, he shot the ball horribly. He took 32 shots. I think Detroit can make life difficult for Jaylen Brown. I'm not sure they have many answers for Cade. Walsh might be the option they go with, but I think Cade's the best player on the court. So if you want to give me the best player getting plus money in what we think is going to be a war, I'll take Cade down the stretch.
I agree. I just think the volume is always going to be an issue, but I also agree.
And Duran might end up with 15 rebounds again. So I think that'll be a problem too.
Last 5 games for Jaylen Brown, shooting 58, 47, 45, 66, 23. 23 was against the Cavs. Like, what's going on with this Cavs team?
I see JR saying that he thinks Jaylen Brown's the best player on the court. Agree to disagree. I think Cade's better than Jaylen Brown. Brown is a finals MVP. I think they're both top 15 in the league. I think Cade's better than Jaylen Brown.
It's close.
It's close. I mean, I get Brown has the finals, accolades, etc., but I think Cade's a better player right now than Jaylen Brown is, in my opinion. Agree to disagree, but I think Cade is. I think there's a debate there.
It is a very strong debate that I would love to just go ahead and flat out say Cade.
I'm not disrespecting Jaylen Brown. I think Brown's going to be an All-NBA player this season. But I think Cade's better at basketball than Jaylen Brown is, personally.
Yeah. Cade's really good. Like, I don't know. I think this is disrespectful to Cade to be like, this is disrespectful to Jaylen Brown. What? Cade is really, really good.
Well, again, it's not an insult one or another. We're comparing two separate top 15 players in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Let me see. 229.5 is the total. Under. I don't think Boston's going to be able to score consistently.
First 2 meetings went over barely. You had 232 and 231. I'll go under.
It did open at 231.5, so it opened right there on the number.
I'll agree with you.
All right. Toronto on the road. Going to play the Miami.
By the way, JR, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. You're saying that Cade isn't even better than Tatum. Tatum's better than Jaylen Brown. So what are we talking about? You just lost me.
Cade isn't even better.
Jaylen Brown is not a top 5 player in the league.
Wait, Cade isn't even better than Tatum, so that would assume he's better than Tatum.
Jaylen Brown is not better than Jason Tatum. I like Jaylen Brown too. Jason Tatum is better than Jaylen Brown.
I hate Jason Tatum.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to like him. He's a better player than Jaylen Brown. Those are 2 different statements. Oh, look, I think you could argue that Jaylen Brown and Tatum are close.
Scott.
Tatum's better than Jaylen Brown. Tatum was, a first-team All-NBA player multiple times? What was Tatum?
He's just a dickhead. That's what he is.
That's more of a personality thing, isn't it? It doesn't have to do with basketball, skill.
Potentially.
It's fun if you like Jaylen Brown more than Jason Tatum. But yeah, Jason Tatum's a 4-time All-NBA first-team player. He's definitely better than Jaylen Brown. Like, what are we talking about? Tatum as a first-team All-NBA guy means he was a top 5 player in the league for 4 separate years. He's clearly better than Jaylen Brown. It's fine if you don't like Tatum's personality. I think that he could be a bit of a cornball too. But he's a top 10 player in the league. There's no question about that. in my opinion. I don't think it's close, but whatever.
So to catch up, if you're listening on audio podcasts with everything going on in the chat, I'm going to summarize a lot of the chat's thoughts. Let's see here. Brown still can't dribble with his left.
He's gotten better. He's gotten better at it, for the record. He has gotten better at that.
That was rage bait. Randomly, who wins more bets? I don't even care who the better player is. Shouts out to somebody out there who wants to keep the show on topic. The chat is moving at an insane rate that I can't keep up with. There was another comment that I wanted to say and it moved. Another person agrees that Brown is better than Tatum. There's a Tatum, Cade, Brown 1, 2, 3 in the chat as well. Again, you should really be on youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. And then somebody threw out there that JR's 12. Because and Tatum is not clearly better than Jaylen Brown is another one. Wow, the chat is really going.
I mean, people really like Jaylen Brown. It's fine. I think he's a very solid player. But when one guy's a 4-time first-team All-NBA player and the other's made one All-NBA team in his entire career, he's not better than the 4-time first-team All-NBA player. The chat has also added that Jaylen Brown, again, cannot go left. So this is the second time the chat has added that he can't go left, but also that he could not play in the USA team over Drew Holiday and Caillou. For the record, he should have been on that All-NBA team. For the record, for
the USA team,
that's still
absolutely
insane,
he absolutely should have been on the Team USA team.
I'm not against Jaylen Brown; he's a very good player, but he's not Jason Tatum. And one NBA Finals is not going to change that. Yes, I know Tatum was not very good in the NBA Finals, but I'm not suddenly going to say Jaylen Brown's better than Jason Tatum. He's a 4-time All-NBA first-team player. Jaylen Brown's not better than Jason Tatum.
Jesus
it's fine.
Christ.
It's fine.
Oh man, who's better at rage bait? Hold on, wait.
Is it neither? He says JR or Draymond. I think it'd be Dylan Brooks, wouldn't it? If you're going for like the rage bait king, I think Dylan Brooks is probably up there. Draymond got rage baited by LeBron, so I don't know if he can actually win that. I think Dylan Brooks might be in the running for rage bait champ. I think Dylan Brooks has a serious argument for that title. But yeah, last point I'll make though for this conversation. Terrell, who's a better rage baiter? Is it Draymond or is it Dylan Brooks?
Oh, dude.
Draymond or Dylan Brooks?
Oh, Dylan Brooks, easy.
I think it's Dylan Brooks.
It's easily Dylan. Like, I think Draymond is just his personality. Dylan Brooks does it to get the reaction, and they give him the reaction that he wants every single time. Draymond's just a dick.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks is actually rage baiting. It's 100% Dylan Brooks. Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. All right, let's get back to the actual show at hand. Jesus Christ, they made me cough, made me cry, made me everything. It said JR, Draymond, Dylan Brooks, all rage baiting. Oh my God. Being the Draymond Green of this podcast is insane. Okay, Toronto Raptors on the road, going to play the Miami Heat. Heat are laying 5.5 at home. 235.5 is the total. Injury report for these two teams. We've got Jamison Battle, who is probable for the game today, and Larson's out for the Miami Heat. RJ Barrett is also still out for the Toronto Raptors as well. All right, so we kind of got an up and down with Toronto here. 4 straight. I mean, both of these two teams have lost 4 straight, but like Toronto lost to Charlotte.
So did Cleveland, apparently. So Charlotte, LaMelo being injured, Charlotte suddenly showing
stock up and get your Charlotte Hornet stocks. Oh man, I mean,
both teams have not played well for the last couple weeks.
The Raptors haven't covered. They've only covered 1 game in their last 10.
They've lost 4 in a row outright. So besides even just covering, they can't win a game.
They're not in the game because they're not in it.
Yeah, they got buried by
They're never
Charlotte
in these games.
They lost by 25 at home to Charlotte. They got killed in that game. Now Miami's also lost 4 in a row. So both teams have really been falling off a cliff. Miami lost to Sacramento at home by 16. Like, both teams are going through it right now.
And what was that last loss? The NBA Cup game? One of those games versus the Orlando was the NBA Cup game.
Yes, the Heat lost to Orlando in the NBA Cup, and the Raptors got buried by the Knicks in the NBA Cup.
But see, like, this is the thing. All of these games, the Heat were a favorite. So, like, I'm really hard. I don't find the issue yet. Like, all these games, the Heat were a favorite. So I've yet to find the issue with the Miami Heat right now. They're literally doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah. Give me Toronto.
I'm taking Toronto.
Give me Toronto. Like, the Heat are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. If they were a dog in a couple of these games, I understand. But, like, even the NBA Cup game, I think it was Heat -1.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you're looking at what should be a close game either way. So I don't mind the points. We've mentioned this for many years. Miami as a home favorite tends to be a series trap situation. Both teams might be struggling. Miami reinvented the entire offense during the offseason, which looked good early. I'd say recently it's kind of cooled off. Toronto has a certain physicality. I think that can frustrate Miami. I think this game will be close, but I do think Ingram and Barnes and company, their length can frustrate Miami on the perimeter defensively. So I'll go with Toronto plus the points. They can win the game outright. Like, this game can be really close throughout. I'll go Toronto.
This is perfect. Miami Heat wins by 2, 3, something like that. The chat is now.
Toronto might win this game. Like, it's not once again a foregone conclusion. Miami wins this outright, so I can't lay 2-3 possessions with this team.
I feel the chat is now referring to the Raptors as the Craptors.
That's fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
we are on the Craptors though. I mean, you were never going to get me on Miami Heat laying any type of points. To be honest,
and they've been good at home this season. We're aware of it, but both teams going through it. I was going to take whoever was getting points in this game, and Miami's laying multiple possessions.
235.5 is total.
Oh, you saw 35.5. I saw 37.5.
I see 235. Yeah, I see 235.5 right now.
Okay, I'll change it. It was 37. Now it's, I guess, down to 35.
Damn. I mean,
I get it. Miami's offense was based on pace, and the offense has kind of cooled off lately. So I can understand why the lines have dropped. I mean, Miami has scored less than 109 in 4 straight games.
Both of these two teams are on a run to the under, too. Might be a little bit too high for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I could still see a good amount of points being scored, but if it's like at 230, 231, like that still goes under.
I think I'm on the under.
Yeah.
I'll dare Miami's offense to remember how to play basketball again.
All right. Hopefully the Raptors can play some defense today. Under. And before we get to the rest of the slate, got to talk to you about Kalshi. Real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. So you can trade a whole bunch of things, not just sports, not just the NFL, not just college football, not just college basketball, not just NBA, not just NHL, not just all of that, not just sports. You can do politics, entertainment, the weather, all of that. You can trade anything on Kalshi. So make sure you go check them out. New customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. That is KALSHI, Kalshi. SGPN is that promo code. Make sure you go check them out. Plus, come on, get $20. Why not? All right. We're also brought to you by Underdog. We'll do our Underdog lineup at the end of the show here. You can win up to 5,000 times your entry. All you have to do is pick higher or lower your favorite players' fantasy stats. And so you can go tap in. Brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you use that promo code NBA SGPN. That is NBA SGPN. Let's keep going. Third game of the night. We're all the way down at 9 p.m. Scott. The Dallas Mavericks are on the road going to play Utah Jazz. Dallas is laying 1.5. It opened up at 3.5. They're down to 1.5 already. 239.5 is the total. Injury report for these two teams. And we have for the Dallas Mavericks, Anthony Davis is questionable. Daniel Gafford is also questionable. D'Angelo Russell is out. Derek Lively is out. And for the Utah Jazz, we have Yusuf Nurkic, Georges Niang, Walker Kessler, all out. So with that being said, the Utah at home counter has now moved to 9-4. We've had some little turbulence in the past.
For the most part, though, it's been very good.
A couple of those losses were both OKC. So, like, we're not blaming you. We're not blaming you at all.
They won outright against Houston. They were getting like 17.5. Like that.
After getting embarrassed the night before by the same Houston team.
Just saying, so, like, Houston outright at home as that big of a dog should count as like 3 wins. Like that should count as a separate.
You feel me? So, especially after it was a back-to-back, Scott. It wasn't like they just lost to them and got embarrassed the night before and came back and won outright. Like, so good luck. If you would like to take the Dallas Mavericks in Utah, good luck. If you would like to take anybody not named OKC in Utah, good luck. I can't do it. I can't do it, Scott. I'm going to trust them at home. This is how I'm going to bet Utah all season.
I mean, the line does scream trap line because Dallas has been on fire lately. Dallas has won 5 of the last 6. They found a point guard with Nembhard, and Anthony Davis actually healthy. He's been pretty good too. Killed the Nets over the weekend. So then, once again, the Mavericks have been playing some pretty good ball, and yet the line's only 1.5. So at first glance, people might just be jumping on board to just take the Mavericks because they've been rolling. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go with Utah. I think from a trap line perspective, the Mavericks should be favored by more based on the form recently they've been in. The line's short for a reason because Utah is very good at home. And I feel like Utah, even though Nurkic is not playing, that is a problem, though. Now you have Filipowski trying to guard AD because Nurkic is out. So that could be a problem size-wise. But I think I'm with you. I'm going to go Utah. They've been good at home, and the line feels very short, dangerously short. I think it's pretty trappy. Give me Utah money line.
I just cannot believe, like, we're a gambling-centric show. So when somebody whose at name is The Fix is In 69, by the way, shout out to the folks that get more hype over 6'9" than 6'7". The Fix is In 69-34 says free game. The Knicks will win the cup and miss the playoffs, and the Spurs will finish top 2 in the West. What Simpsons writer is this in the chat that says he has the script? And now I'm gonna think about this the entire season, especially if the Knicks win. By the way,
I'm trying to think of what it would actually take for the Knicks to miss the playoffs in this Eastern Conference. It would be historically hilarious if the Knicks missed the playoffs, which is not.
It would literally
happen,
be
obviously.
Everybody got hurt. I would actually want to jump off a balcony if the Knicks miss the playoff this season. The year Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton both have Achilles injuries out for the year. Like,
I think that you underestimate how bad the bottom of the East is. That's all I'm going to say. The bottom of the East is really, really bad.
His name is The Fix is In. I will now remember this. I don't want to give any brain cells to that, but I'm now going to remember that he said that for the duration of the season. Thank you.
I think
so
Spurs
much.
finishing top 2 in the West is it's possible. I don't think it gets there, but I think it's possible. I'll put it that way.
Hey, he shut me up. He think I'll hold you. I can't even hold you. He shut me up. We're moving on. If anybody who's listening on podcast didn't see what the response in the chat, the fix is in said 2 words. Mike Brown.
Yeah. It's a fair response. That's more of a playoff concern for me.
Back to my Utah Jazz. There's no shot they're losing to the Mavericks today.
And for the record, I'm not saying the Spurs are going to finish top 2, but that's more realistic than the Knicks missing the playoffs.
That is way more realistic than the Knicks missing the playoffs. So
comparing the two, the Spurs
the Knicks missing the playoffs is insane. Like, yeah. I would want to jump off a balcony. Like, I'm not even lying. There's no reason the Knicks should ever miss the playoffs right now.
I'll go with the over in this game too. Dallas has scored a bit more lately. Utah still can't defend, but I like the over.
Yes, do like the over. Utah team total over, for obvious reasons, sounds a little bit better. But yes, love the over.
By the way, Anthony Davis is questionable for this game, so we'll see what happens.
And that's where I was thinking, like, there's a chance that the Dallas offense just completely just doesn't show up. But
well, you know what that means. If AD doesn't play, you know who's getting extra runtime, right?
Who?
Dwight Powell. It's Dwight Powell's season.
It is his final season, as they said.
That was very quickly denied by Mark Cuban, who rejected that immediately.
It's not Dwight Powell's, so it's not his final run.
It is a fake farewell season for Dwight Powell. That's what the rumors came out as. So, yeah, it is not Dwight Powell's final season, even though he's been a bench warmer for about 5 years. So.
Dude, they're going to move on from him in the offseason. It's going to be like the worst form of mutiny ever.
Oh, no, it's an audition for Dwight Powell. He might end up on Utah next year.
Yeah. That sounds more realistic than Knicks missing the playoffs. I'll say that.
Yeah.
All right. Next game up. Well, before we get to the next game on the docket, since we just had such a detour, because what?
We can do another game. We can do one more.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Houston and what should be the game of the night. The Houston Rockets on the road going to play the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets are laying 1.5. They opened up at 2. They're down to 1.5 for pretty good reason. What is this? 237 is the total injury report. We have 4 of these two teams. It looks like Torrey Eason for the Rockets is questionable. Dorian Finney-Smith still out. And you got Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun out. That's it for the Denver Nuggets. Last time these two teams played, Denver did get the win. Crazy game, 112-109 in Houston. Houston's looking for some payback. And Denver's been lackluster at home, to say the least. But it's normally been in, low-pressure situations. This is a high-pressure situation. Pretty big game. Interested to see what's going on here. Scott, what do you like?
Well, for the record, even though this game is in Denver, this game means a lot more to Houston than it does to Denver.
It does.
Denver's already beaten Houston. This was actually the matchup where Aaron Gordon got hurt. Played 3 minutes in the last meeting. So he played, but not really. Brown was already out. So we know that Denver's defense without those two guys has been pretty terrible. They've won 4 in a row, had a crazy comeback against Atlanta, trailed by 22, I believe, in that game. Beat Indiana, beat Charlotte, and beat Sacramento. So they have not really had a tough schedule recently, which has contributed to the recent run. At the same point, though, Houston, if you're going to be a serious contender in the West, you're going to have to not only beat OKC, which is almost impossible to do, but Denver might be the team in your way because that might be the 2-3 matchup. It would be a really bad look if you lost to Denver twice, basically without Aaron Gordon and Brown in both games. I think the game means more to Houston than it does to Denver. I'm going to pick Houston, actually. I think Denver's recent success has partially been because of strength of schedule or lack thereof in this case. But I think Houston physically can frustrate Joker, and I do think that Houston can make this game physical, make this game tough. We saw that in the first meeting. It was in Houston. Game turned into a rock fight. Denver won. It's going to be close, but you know what? I'll go Houston. I think the line's short for a reason. I think Houston gets some revenge. I'll pick him to step up in this game. Give me Houston.
So my reasoning is going to lie on more of the defensive side of the ball because ultimately, yes, sometimes pace plays into a factor with Houston and why teams score. But I watch Houston. Houston's really, really solid defensively, man. And I just trust that to show up. I think that's going to continue to show up.
And I don't trust Denver's defense to show up in a given game. That's kind of the problem I have right now.
And that's my issue with Denver is that I just don't feel amazing about their defense right now. But I just feel really good about the Houston defense. I think the coaching matchup is on that side of the ball as well with Udoka and how he's able to coach up that defense. And ultimately, it's going to come down to it was always going to come down to the final seconds of the game. But Houston's got to close. This was Houston's problem last year. they're having a little bit of that problem this year. They figure it out in some instances, but in other instances, it's not as easy anymore as it was maybe 10 years ago to just give KD the ball in the final seconds and you feel good about that. So I think that's the thing that I would like to see from Houston. What do they do in closing time a lot better and get more consistent at, and being able to beat a team like the Nuggets, because that's how they ended up losing last year, the closing minutes of the game. Not last year, last game, the closing minutes of the game.
Yeah, for the record, I'm looking at the actual shooting numbers for these teams. Denver shot 53% from the floor. Houston only shot 44%, and it was still a 3-point game.
Yeah.
So if Denver does not shoot that well, 53 is an insane percentage against this defense. I know Joker's Joker and all, but I do think if Denver regresses a bit more and Houston can just continue dominating the glass, they did win the rebounding battle by 3 in the first meeting. I just don't see 53% happening again, and Denver still only got to 112 despite making that many shots. So I'm going to go Houston in this game. I'm going under, actually, for the total. It's gone up a couple of points. Yeah. I think it's pretty high for what could be a playoff atmosphere for these two teams. I'll go with the under in this game.
Because I'm on Houston, I think there is a chance that Houston could run and score up here. Just because, again, I'm not really sold on the Denver defense.
So it sounds like you want Denver team total under.
Yeah, it would be either a Houston team total over or a Denver team total under for me. I don't think I'm really committed to fading Denver's offense enough to take their team total under, so I think it would be a Houston team total over, and that's what I would feel better about for me playing the total. But I couldn't play it just completely one side or the other, because I do think it's going to be something along the lines of Houston will be able to score and Denver will struggle with that defense. All right. Anything else here, Scott?
Not really. Once again, I'll go with the under. I see a close game, but I think the under I'm going to go with because I think one quarter could just drastically slow the entire pace of the total down. So I don't mind one quarter finishing with 50, and you end up getting what could be one game that's trending over and then dies. I think that's a possibility too. So I'll go with the under, but I'll go with Houston.
All right. Let's see. We've got did somebody say they were a Simpsons writer in the chat? I feel like I saw that. I meant to go back to that.
Do you want to do one more read, by the way?
What do you mean that you're a Simpsons writer? Yes, I do. If you're a Simpsons writer, I need to know. I need the scoop. I need to know what's going on. I need the script. We can go on Kalshi and go over there and trade right now. But right now, what we will talk about is Novig. Novig is brought to you by America's #1 sports prediction market. We can go over there and get the best prices on the market. Maybe they're minus 115 at a traditional sports book, but you go to Novig and you might see somebody that's offering minus 104, minus 103, like get closer and closer to that even money as possible, right? Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 when you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, who has crushed the NFL this season, crushed college basketball, crushed the NBA. They crushed the WNBA. They're crushing everything over there at Rhythm. Make sure you go check them out. You can get player props. You can get your games. You can get all of that. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and fire up the Rhythm Labs. Let's see what Rhythm has going on the slate today. Cooking up over here. Make sure you go check out their models. You can make your own data-filled models there, or you can use Rhythm models. Rhythm models are really, really good here. Let's see. What is Rhythm? Oh, this is NFL. I don't want to talk about that on this show. No. Interesting. Look at this. Immediately, the first thing I open up, and it's a Ja Morant under 6.5 assists here, sharp under. They're projecting Ja for about 5.1 here today, plus money on that, plus 116 on the under 6.5 assists here for Ja Morant. It's just one of the many smart signals, and I mean a lot of smart signals. Look here, might have to get down on some action for myself here with Rhythm. Y'all need to go check them out too. I got it right here in front of me. You might want to do it too. If you use that promo code SGPN25, you can get 25% off your first month. Promo code SGPN25 to get access to all these great bets here over there at Rhythm. RITHMM, by the way, if you ain't know. All right, let's get to the last game of the slate, Scott. As aforementioned in the Rhythm read, the Memphis Grizzlies on the road are going to play the Los Angeles Clippers.
I swear these teams play every week.
Yep. Clippers are laying 4.5. 228.5 is the total. Injury report for these two teams. And we have James Harden is questionable. Nicholas Batum is questionable. Derrick Jones Jr. is out. And, I mean, again, Bradley Beal's out for the rest of the season.
For the record, Harden deserves a day off.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. He actually it looks like he's the only guy who feels like he wants to be there, and the rest of the team doesn't show up. At least Harden's having a good year. Team sucks.
Yep.
But yeah, give him a day off. Why not?
Brandon Clark is doubtful. That's an upgrade. Zach Edey's out. John Conchor's out. Ron Small's out. Ty Jerome's out. Scottie Pippen Jr. is out. Yeah, about some of the same people here.
I mean, the Grizzlies have no centers. So if you want to go based on matchup alone, Zubac might have 20 rebounds. Like, Zubac should kill this entire front court. Because right now, Memphis has Aldama and Jacques Landale as their front court. So Brandon Clark might need to suit up because they have no centers at all at this point. Zubac might dominate the game. Then again, Harden, we know, runs the offense. So if he sits, then they got to reinvent themselves entirely. Kawhi gets the ball more. We'll see what happens. But I've made so many jokes this season about the Clippers being favored and losing outright. Mm-hmm. And Memphis is one of those teams. The Clippers have been favored against this team, I want to say twice already this season, and they're over. They just can't beat this team. So on principle, I got to go with the Grizzlies, but I am aware Zubac alone can win this game for the Clippers because the Grizzlies have no size at all, and Nurkic had 17 rebounds against them a couple days ago. So I guess I'm just going to be on Zubac props, and I'll pick Memphis to find a way to win. That's where I'm at. You?
So I agree. For the context that everybody is looking for, it is December 15th. They played on November 28th. Grizzlies won 112-107 as 6.5-point dogs in LA. They played again on December 5th. Grizzlies won 107-98 as 2-point dogs at home. And then here we are. The Grizzlies are 4.5-point dogs in LA on the 15th. Still playing this game. I mean, the Clippers suck. I was never laying any points with the Clippers. So that's where this all stopped. At the very least, Memphis has been competent. For as bad as Memphis was to start the year, they've been competent. They've gone out there. They've won the games that they were supposed to win. They've won a game that they weren't supposed to win. They've lost games that, well, they weren't supposed to win really too many, so they've just lost games. But, I mean, 7 wins in your last 10. They're starting to put something together. Clippers are doing nothing.
No.
Nothing. And then you're telling me James Harden might not play? Yeah, he deserves a break, but it doesn't mean it's going to be good for the team. Oh, I'm all over the Grizzlies here. This is dog potential.
I'm on the Grizzlies anyway because the Clippers keep losing to this damn team.
Yeah. I want nothing to do with the Clippers right now.
You can blame some of it on the players just not really showing any pride in their play, which is fine. But if we've been roasting Memphis's coach for the last couple of months, and he's been out-coaching Ty Lue in the head-to-head games, that sums up my thoughts on Ty Lue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Ty Lue, I've said it before. The
Clippers are clearly a better team.
On paper, yes. But they're always true because I think Ty Lue stinks.
Yeah.
I've gone on record many times saying Ty Lue's an overrated coach. I think he's an historically overrated coach. And all I'm saying is, yes, you could argue that, the coaches coach and players play, so you can blame the players for it. But Ty Lue's lost the entire team, and they hit the ground running on E this season. That can't happen. You can't show up for game 1 and lose to Utah by 50. That can't happen. So I blame that on Ty Lue.
Wow. I don't think – oh, well, the fix is in. Okay. I was about to say, everybody on the chat is on the Grizzlies. Nobody wants anything to do with the Clippers today.
On
For good
paper,
reason.
for a matchup, it's not that bad for the Clippers. But that hasn't mattered because the Grizzlies play harder than the Clippers.
Yep.
It's an effort thing. The Grizzlies will work their asses off, and the Clippers don't do any of that. Now you also have to worry about this really bad transition defense dealing with Ja, which is not exactly a fun time for the Clippers. So
Clippers are like that older guy rec team. They're not super old, but they're older. The rec league teams are probably 29, 30, 31, 32. These guys are definitely 37, trying to put the team back together, go out there and compete with the guys. And they realize very quickly, young guys they be doing a lot, man. That the old man moves don't work.
I'll give you a comp. The Clippers are the old rec team in your local gym that insist on playing half court. They're not playing full court. They insist on playing.
We're not running up and down the court.
No, we're not running up and down.
Bro, we not playing a five. We not playing 5-on-5 at half court. What you mean?
But they're the ones who are begging you to play half court 5-on-5.
Oh my God.
Is that a fair comp? Because that feels right.
We're not doing that. Yeah,
it feels right to me.
They're just oh my God, and it's like some of the losses are egregious.
Yeah,
like some of the way that they lose these games.
The first game of the season, we're down 40 at the half to Utah.
And you know what? That's the moment that I knew that the Clippers were unserious this entire
100%.
season. We never talked, and we never talked about them again after that game. Like that was the game where we said, "Yeah, they're not going to beat
Pelicans at home." People forget about that. They blew a lead against New Orleans and quiet a game winner.
Quiet, yeah.
Why are you in a war with the Pelicans at home?
We've been over this team since game one, and it's not going to stop now. I did lose my lock the last time out on this Clippers team, but they still lost the game, so who cares? 229.5 is the total. I'm sorry, 228.5 is the total. Yeah, like I trust the Clippers do anything right. Memphis probably.
Let me see the last two meetings.
I mean, they were low scoring, but you think that's going to make me feel good about the Clippers actually going out there and playing any type of defense? Like this Memphis team could easily, and they've been playing better, and they just lost to the Jazz at home. Like this could be Memphis just going out there and being able to put on a show. Like I'm not buying into anything. I don't trust the Clippers to do anything right for me at all.
I'll go with the under because each of the first two meetings finished below 220. But you could argue once again that you'd rather go for a team total instead.
All right. Let's get ready to close things out, Scott. 5 games. That was it. Good little fun chat. Couple of good laughs. Over to you for the lock and dog.
All right. I think I'll go for some player props for the show today. For my lock, do I want to go with Cade? Because Cade had 42 in the last game and against Boston, and I do think he might have to just keep chucking in this game. Mm-hmm. He's at 27.5. He has gone under, though, in 4 of the last 5 games overall, which is a bit concerning for me. But there might just be an insane amount of volume, so that's kind of what I'm torn in between. But you know what? No, I'll go with something different. I like Duren for his matchup against Boston. I'm going to go for some rebounding plays.
Yep.
Yeah. The rebounds have not been as good for Duren lately, but I think he steps up in this game personally. I'll go for Duren over 11.5 rebounds. 11.5 is too low for Duren. It's minus 104. I believe the last game against Boston, he had like 12 rebounds in the first half. So I think that he can definitely go over this. Give me Duren over 11.5 rebounds as my lock, minus 104. For my dog, alt line, give me Zubac over 13.5 rebounds, plus 180.
All right. Multiple dog opportunities today. Multiple dog opportunities. In fact, I'm on all 5 dogs. What? I'm on every dog day. Well. Lock. Utah plus 1.5. Duh. It's not even like, what kind of conversation is that? Dog.
You going player prop? You can go Toronto.
Toronto is interesting, but and all the way back at the top, Detroit is still interesting. I feel decent about Detroit, but
that Spurs that money line's not big enough for that to count as a
I know
call.
I'd probably have to do some type of alt, but let's make it easy. Just give me Memphis on the money line. Let's go for the hat trick. Plus 154.
All right.
Underdog.
I mean, I want the Zubac stuff in there, so we can either do regular rebounds, PR. I think he has a monster game tonight.
We can. Whoa, wait. Why is this? Why is NHL? Why is NHL on my screen? Get this out of here.
I don't know what popped up. You got like a boost or something?
No. I'm stuck on the NHL screen. Well, let me get to the NBA.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So, boom. We would like to go to Zubac. What are we doing for the
I'll just go with the rebounds for that.
All right.
I mean, I don't know who Memphis is going to use to stop him. Nurkic killed this team a couple days ago.
Okay. And then what else do we want to do?
I mean, did you want to go for Ja? If you're picking Memphis, I'm assuming you're on Ja, right?
Yeah, we could. I mean, we could go Ja. I think
his points are a 19.5. It's really not that much.
I think I want to go Laurie.
Okay, that's fine. We can do that.
25 and a win at home, something like that. Like, all right, let me first. Everything is down. All right, I'm gonna have to make shift this because underdog is down right now at this second.
Okay.
So
I still like the Laurie, so that's fine.
So we'll go Zubac rebounds. I would say that is at 12.5.
Yeah.
Higher. And then Laurie.
I think you said that was either 24.5 or 25.5.
I feel like it's one of those. It is we can get 25.5 higher. Okay. I'm fine with that. 26. And potentially no Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
And even if he does play, does he really play?
Nobody ever knows.
And I can buy myself into Duran. Of course. We could also I don't know. No, I could go Norman Powell again too.
Oh, Powell's our guy. That's fine.
Jokic would work too. I went Norman Powell.
Okay, let's do Powell. Powell, I see at 22.5.
All right. I'm fine with that. I'm saying good games against them.
Cool. I can read it off if you don't have it in front of you.
Yes. So we got Norman. Well, I'm just going Norman Powell higher, 22.5 points. Zubac higher, 12.5 rebounds. And then we also
we have Laurie.
Yeah, Laurie Markkinen higher, 25.5 points.
Cool.
Around 5.7x, 6xer, somewhere around there. Make sure you go check it out, Underdog Fantasy. I think that's a good one. Very simple. All right. Scott, anything else when people get about here?
Not really. I know you'll be on the show with Alante tomorrow to get into the NBA Cup final. So you can talk about your Knicks. Chance to win a title for the first time in about 30-something years. So get excited. But yeah, I will not be on the show tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, the fix is in said they're going to win. The fix is in said they're going to win. I don't have as much faith, but I don't know. The Simpsons writers are undefeated, so got to see.
Yeah.
He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at really real __. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA. YouTube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating review wherever you get your podcast. Spotify, Apple, don't matter. Check out your Spotify, Apple Wrapped, whatever it is. See where we fall in, or YouTube Wrapped. Did they do YouTube Wrapped? If YouTube doesn't
YouTube
do
does not do that. No.
Wow, YouTube, what? You should do that. I would be curious on what would be on my YouTube Wrap. All right. What else? That's it. Nothing else. Saying nothing else to no other way of ending the podcast. Just getting like this. We are out of here.
Basketball, gimme.